Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving into one of the most fun and rewarding DIY projects you can tackle. Building a classic kids picnic table. We're going to break down a super simple plan that'll help you create a fantastic backyard centerpiece in just one weekend.
This quote really nails it. It's a great reminder that we're not just screwing some boards together. We're building the stage for countless childhood memories. I mean, think about it. Summer picnics, messy art projects. It's all about craftsmanship, and really, it's about family.
All right, Section 1, Crafting Backyard Memories. Let's kick things off with the why behind this build, the vision that makes it all so worth it. The awesome thing about this design is just how accessible it is. I mean, it's really engineered for beginners, but the final product is incredibly strong. You're literally turning a few simple pieces of lumber into something truly special. And yeah, the whole thing is designed to be knocked out in a single weekend. Okay, on to Section 2, your project blueprint. A solid plan is absolutely the key to a smooth build. So let's get our materials together and map out all the cuts we're going to make. So this is where the efficiency of this plan really shines. The entire table, we're talking the top, the seats, all the supports, everything is designed to be built from just 6 standard 8-foot 2x4s. That's it. So you get minimal waste and maximum value.
Now, before you buy those boards, you do have a key choice to make: pine or cedar. Pine is your budget-friendly champion. It's super easy to work with and just perfect for this project. You'll just need to be really good about applying a solid weatherproof finish. Cedar, on the other hand, well, that's the premium choice. It's more expensive for sure, but it's naturally resistant to rot and insects, which makes it a fantastic long-term investment, especially if you live in a wet climate. For this explainer, we're going to follow the guide and use pine to keep the cost down.
And here it is, our roadmap for turning those 6 boards into a table. This is the official cut list. Just look at how every single piece has a specific purpose. You'll cut 9 boards for the tabletop and seats, 4 angled legs, and then 4 support pieces. The source material even gives you a diagram showing how to lay these cuts out to get every piece you need with almost nothing left over. It's brilliant. The tool list is pretty standard for a project like this, nothing too crazy. The real key item is a miter saw. That's for getting those clean 30-degree angles on the legs. Besides that, you just need a drill, your measuring tools, and some clamps. And of course, safety gear. That is absolutely non-negotiable. Okay, Section 3, the assembly sequence. With everything cut and ready to go, it's time to bring this table to life. This is the fun part. Now, the source guide lists out 8 individual steps, but we can make it feel way more manageable by just thinking about it in 4 clear phases. First, you'll build the 2 identical side frames. Then, you connect them to form the table skeleton. After that, you attach all the top and seat boards. And finally, you just add the finishing details. See? Simple. Now, as we connect that skeleton, we get to what is probably the single most important step of the entire build: squaring the frame. And listen, this isn't just about making it look neat. If your frame isn't square, the table is going to wobble, period. The trick is to measure the diagonals from corner to corner. If those 2 measurements are exactly the same, your frame is perfectly square and you are on track for a rock-solid table. And here's a brilliant little tip for you when you get to phase 3. When you're attaching the tabletop and the seat boards, don't just eyeball the spacing. Grab a small scrap piece of wood, about 1/4 inch thick works great, and use it as a spacer. This guarantees you get those perfectly consistent, professional-looking gaps, which also have this super practical benefit of letting rainwater drain right through. All right, on to Section 4. From rough to ready. The structure is built, but the sanding and finishing work, that's what's going to transform it from a pile of wood into a beautiful, safe piece of furniture. And this really is the key question, isn't it? Especially for a project that's made for kids, the finish has to be perfect. We're talking no rough spots, no sharp edges, and absolutely no splinters. The path to that perfect finish is a simple 3-step standing process. And trust me, this is non-negotiable for making the table safe. You're going to start with a coarse 80 grit paper to knock down any roughness, then move to a medium 120 grit to smooth things out, and finally, you'll finish with a fine 220 grit for a surface that's silky smooth to the touch. This guarantees it'll be safe for little hands. After all that sanding, it's time to protect your hard work. Choose a good, non-toxic exterior stain or paint. Apply a thin, even first coat to absolutely every surface, the top, the bottom, and especially the end grain of the wood. Let that dry completely. Give it one more very light sanding, and then apply a second coat. This is what will protect your table from the sun and rain and make sure it lasts for years and years.
So Section 5, your weekend masterpiece. We are at the finish line, so let's step back and take a look at the final result.
First, let's talk value. Depending on your local lumber prices, this entire project should cost you around $75. A comparable pre-made table, that could easily cost you double that, or even more. The savings are huge, and that's not even counting the pride you get from building it yourself. And what about your time? Well, you can expect to spend about 6 to 8 hours on this from start to finish. But look at how that time breaks down. About half of it is for cutting and assembly, but the other half is dedicated entirely to sanding and finishing. That really drives home just how critical those final steps are to a great result. And hey, don't let the kids' table name fool you. Thanks to that solid 2x4 construction, this table is a tank. It can easily support over 200 pounds, which means adults can sit right down at the bench without a single worry. So there you have it. You've taken 6 boards of wood and turned them into a functional, durable piece of your home. You've learned some new skills and created something with lasting value. This project isn't just an endpoint, it's a foundation for the future, which really leaves just one final question. What memories will you build next?